Hey YouTube, so this is my third time trying to record this video. I'm pretty sure the enemy does not want me to get this message through, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So basically, I was in my Bible reading, studying time, and God gave me a revelation in Matthew chapter 17 about fasting and prayer, which we know. I'm just going to go ahead and read what I'm talking about. So, in Matthew chapter 17, Jesus and the disciples come upon a man with a son who has demonic possession. In the New King James, it says epilepsy, but in the King James, it says he's a lunatic. So, we know that's demonic possession. I don't know why they changed it to epilepsy, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and just read it, so just to refresh the memory of anyone who may not know exactly what I'm talking about. It says, a boy is healed. Verse 14, and when they had come to the multitude, a man came to him, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers severely. For he often falls into the fire and often into the water. So I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, Why could we not cast you out? So Jesus said to them, Because of your unbelief, for assuredly I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. So as I was reading this, I kind of was thinking, well, okay, I know a lot of us are. Our main revelation from this is saying that, sometimes when you're going through trying to be delivered from a spirit or a sickness or whatever, you have to fast and pray so that that can be worked out of you. And of course, that is correct. But what God dropped in my spirit today was that Jesus, of course, earlier in Matthew, he fasted and prayed for 40 days. Um, and of course, we know after that, Satan came out and was trying to tempt him and all those things like he does whenever we fast and pray. He tries to, get in our minds, whatever. So the reason why Jesus was able to cast out that demon out of that boy immediately is because of his fasting and prayer earlier in Matthew, I believe it's chapter 4. And the disciples weren't fasting because, back in Matthew chapter 9, the Pharisees began to question Jesus about fasting. And let me find that. Okay. And this also starts at verse 14, chapter 9, Matthew chapter 9, verse 14. Then the disciples of John came to him saying, Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast? And Jesus said to them, Can the friends of the bridegroom mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth in an old garment, for the patch falls away from the garment, and the tear is made worse. Nor do they put new wine into old wineskins, or else the wineskins break, and the wine is spilled, and the wineskins are ruined. But they put new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved. So the disciples were not fasting because, of course, Jesus was still here, and he was letting them know, hey, whenever I leave, then the disciples will fast. So if you hear noise in the background, my kids are out here playing and stuff. But anyway, so that was the revelation he gave me, is that because he had been fasting for 40 days, he was able to cast out that demon. But the disciples were not ready yet to do that because they didn't have to fast. Because he was still with them. So I just thought that was kind of amazing because I'm like, wow, okay. So it makes that make even more sense that when you're doing deliverance, whether you're needing deliverance or doing deliverance, it makes sense that you should probably go through a period of fasting and consecration so that can be worked out of you and out of your spirit more easily. I don't know. I might not be the only person that got that revelation, but I just got excited. I get excited when I get revelation from God, especially when I'm reading His Word. So I said that to also just say, if you're struggling with retaining the things that you read in the Bible, or you're struggling to understand what God is trying to say, I just would suggest that you just begin to ask God, hey, can you just reveal yourself to me through your word. Give me revelation through your word of what I'm reading. Give me understanding. And he will do that for you because he wants us to understand what we're reading. He doesn't want to just reading the surface and just moving on. He wants us to gain deeper understanding of his word. So that was just something I wanted to share with you guys, with anybody who is watching. If you would like to share this video, that would be great. But